Hamilfoot. What's going on, brother? Juvie and the hizzy for shizzy. Hell yeah. Always. Oh, I still have... Alright, well, that's fine. I'm still getting a couple things ready, so... You can hang out and look at Inosuke from Demon Slayer. Which, that sword on the table right there is actually an early anniversary gift my lady got me, which is a bamboo sword of Inosuke's swords right here. So it actually comes out of the sheath and everything. Came with the holder to hold it. And let me... Alright, cool. Audio's good. Should be fine. I'm gonna move stuff. You're gonna see me. Hi. So the swords, when they come out, actually look like that. But yeah, he's like my favorite character from Demon Slayer. So she got me that, and then I'm probably gonna get the other ones at some point. Okay. Let's start this bitch. Unhide. Yeah. Oh, that was loud in my headphones. Don't hurt yourself wielding that bad boy. Yeah. Luckily for me, it is bamboo. Like, it's a bamboo blade. All the white fabric that you saw, like on the sheath and the handle, is actually like a fabric wrap, which is cool. You can get other sword, like katana replicas and stuff that are made out of like aluminum or whatever. But I thought about that. The problem with it is the edge of the blade isn't sharp, but the point of it still is. And I didn't want it to, in case something happens and it falls off the wall or whatever, I didn't want my kids to get stabbed, me to get stabbed, Miss Kaiju to get stabbed or scratched or anything. So that's why, while looking, I found the bamboo ones, and they have like almost every character from the anime, like all their different katanas and Demon Slayer weapons and stuff. So it worked out, because those things aren't sharp, and I don't have to worry about people getting hurt. There we go. Put you back up there. Oh my god. What a fucking day. Need some water. There's water all over the top of my water bottle. Ugh. Been hit 9 times with a kendo stick when I wrestled. That shiznit hurts. Yeah, straight up. Like, I remember a friend of mine had like a kendo stick. I think it was his dad's or whatever, but you know, being kids, you don't listen. And we were messing around with it one day, and being like wrestling fans, especially like hardcore matches, we're like, oh yeah, like hit me with it or whatever. And that shit hurts way too much. Oh my goodness. It has been a day. My shirt that faded? My shirt looks pink, but I promise you it's red. Oh, it's one of those days, honestly, like things aren't framed up properly because I don't usually have this part, or try not to have that showing. I like the camera being more this way. And I just like, I saw it. I was like, you know what? There's enough shit going on. We'll deal with it. So you bleed underneath your skin. Yeah, pretty much. You get these weird like contusions or bruises. Is a bruise a contusion? I don't know. Other than that, the past few days, I've been getting like no sleep, to be honest. I'm on a steady diet of like 4 to 5.5 hours sleep if I'm lucky. And then, yeah, I'm up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning. So that's always fun to do. It'd be nice if that changes, but honestly, it's kind of how it's been for like my whole life in a way, or at least a lot of my life. And like, I have people who their first thing is always just like, oh, you should try. Have you tried smoking weed? Like, yes. I pretty much spent half my life smoking weed, and that didn't help me at all. Sometimes it helped me fall asleep, but it didn't help me stay asleep. And now that I haven't smoked weed for almost 2 years now, it's basically the same sleep pattern. You know what I mean? We're here for you, oh my God, I fucked that up. We are here for you, brother. Background is a bonus. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, also, I got a dope-ass quote from Rurouni Kenshin, my absolute favorite anime and manga. It says, hold on. There you go. Yeah, you can die at any time, but living takes courage. I really like that quote. Oh. But also, enough of the super serious stuff. Let me see. Need to add this. There's other exciting things that have been going on. Okay. I love fat chefs. I do. Wow. He's staring into your soul. Hold on. Give me a minute. I wish I knew a way to just shrink this down a lot more. Fit to screen. There we go. Bam. Okay. So, me and my lady, we love thrifting. It's an amazing thing. I found some awesome books. I found fucking first edition Dune books. I found the other day, actually, for $5, I found a first edition of the Silmarillion from J.R.R. Tolkien, which is the Middle Earth history book, for $5. A first edition. That's amazing. But I found this little guy, this little rascal right here, little fat chef. Because I friggin' love fat chefs. I don't know why. I just think they're awesome. But I found this little guy. So now he sits upon where the timer and the dials are for our stove. He sits on the top of it, watching and judging you. That's little Tony. I sleep in 45-minute intervals and awake before 4 a.m. Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of what my sleep pattern's like, except I get up at 5:30, 6-ish. He who seeks power for personal gain instead of the greater good will ultimately fall from grace. I made this one up. Honestly, that's a fucking great quote. That's something I could see from Rurouni Kenshin or something too. It's such a good show. And then, I should have took a picture of some of the books that I got. Oh, here we go. Okay, well, we can make that a little bigger. See, so this is the full picture of the background. That red X is because of the scar that's on Kenshin's face. But yeah, you can die at any time, but living takes true courage. So, super dope. I'm just saying. And I've said it before. I've said it for years. The live action movies are worth watching, even if it's just for the fight scenes. Okay. We don't need you anymore. Go away. Bye. I went the wrong way. That's okay. Ignore it. Excuse me. I love going to antique stores, but now I find my old toys there. Well, Metallica plays on the oldies station. Yeah, that's pretty dope. That'd be cool. I haven't found many good figures, at least. I know there's one antique store in Barrie that's it's almost like a flea market in a way, but for little antique sellers and everything. And I've checked out their figures and stuff, but nothing that really catches my eye. Love it. Living is tough. Yeah, man. Sometimes just kind of accepting it and just I don't know, allowing yourself to give up in a way, or just being all right, well, I guess that's what's happening. I'm just going to leave everything. I'm going to check out. Sometimes that's easy. you know, but like it takes true courage to know you're going to have bad days, know you're going to go through trials and like tribulations, and know you're going to go through a lot of different things, and you're going to keep waking up. You're going to keep that undefeated streak against tough, like your bad days, undefeated. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I want to build more of the throne room. I don't know where the fucking instructions went. And like, it's not even messy down here. But I legitimately have no idea where any of the instructions went. Which is nuts, because it was all right here on my desk. Also, we'll get into some of the paranormal stuff. That shit's been going on around here. Yeah. Instructions. Where are you? What the fuck? They're like literally nowhere to be found right now. I know they're not under my laptop. Give me a second. I'm going to grab you folks. Nope, not behind my laptop. See, I usually like to have the camera pointed more over here, because then you can also see the dope-ass skateboard that Hamilfet made me. You know what I'm saying? I look at that shit every day. That's one of the things I look at, and I'm just like, yeah. If you're having a bad day, you feel like giving up? Hell no. Not today, sir. Oops. Try to live in the present, because at any time you can take that dirt nap. Yeah, that's why I bought my Mustang. I want to hear about the ghostly encounters. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a second. And honestly, before anyone gets to this point and like tries to like do the whole, well, sometimes giving up and like, you know, it's hard in itself. Like, it's not just easy to like, you know, call curtains on yourself. That's not what I'm saying. So yeah, just don't go in the comments about that. And I've talked at length about stuff like that on the channel already. Honestly, and I'd probably entertain it more right now. I just don't have it in me. Like, it's one of those things. I wanted to go live tonight because I said I was going to do a live stream tonight or tomorrow. Tonight just worked out better for me because I'm going to be busy tomorrow. And just, yeah. I just don't have it in me to like be all deep and like philosophical and shit right now. I have no fucking clue where these instructions went. No, they're not on my bookshelf. Okay, so they're just gone. Well, shit. How does that even happen? Okay, I had them all. Let me see this. I had them all. Everything was right here. You can see the bags. You can see the previous things we were working on. And somehow, they're just gone. I have no clue. I just don't get it. Masters of the Universe drops tomorrow. I'm stoked to see it. Fuck yeah. Honestly, Masters of the Universe, one of those things I've been a fan of since I was a kid. And I think, if I had to think, I might have seen the live action movie with Dolph Lundgren and everything before I saw the cartoon as a kid. And I don't even care. That movie's still good. I fucking love that movie. But yeah. So if you're interested, the new one comes out. I think it's called Revelation. Revelation or Revolution. Either way, it comes out tomorrow. Speaking of childhood fan things, this is going to be a little random, I guess, because I don't think I've really ever talked about it. Maybe the little ghosts are playing with the Legos. Honestly, if they are, leave my shit alone. Okay. Excuse me. When I was a kid, a young buoy, I saw a movie featuring Anthony Hopkins and Antonio Banderas. It was called Mask of Zorro. I then went on to see like old Zorro episodes and movies because my Uncle Murray had them. And like, even as a teenager, none of my friends wanted to go. I went and saw Legend of Zorro in theaters. I fucking love the character Zorro. I love that world and everything. I've been a fan of it since I was a kid. Today, a Spanish TV series on Prime Video dropped a Zorro series that I had no idea it was even coming out. I didn't see a trailer for it, anything. Problem is, from what I can tell, it's on like the Spanish platforms of Prime Video. So your boy had to raise the black flags. You know what I'm saying? Had to sail the 7 seas to catch some stuff. But either way, I have the season. I'm going to be watching it. I will probably talk about it on this channel because I fucking love Zorro. And yeah, I'm just excited. Because honestly, there's been so many things that, as far as like Zorro and everything goes, I feel like that's a character that's been around for so long, and then eventually it just like they just kind of stopped doing stuff with them. I think the last thing I saw was Legend of Zorro, and that shit came out when I was like 16 or somewhere around there. So it's just like, man, Zorro is so fucking cool, and like the sword was like. He just like scratches the Z or the Z depending on where you live. I'm so excited to watch it. Skeletor was the shit in the movie. Hell yeah. Uncle Murr. Yeah. Yeah, I'm dyslexic, so I won't read a movie. I do know that there is the English voice acting on there as well. So you don't have to read the subtitles. You can click it to the English dubs, so it's not bad. Yeah, because honestly, look, I love like a lot of foreign movies, whether it's Japanese, Chinese, Korean martial arts movies, Thailand, Ong Bak. Psh, Tony, you want to see some fucking good fight scenes? Go and just watch the Ong Bak fight scenes, or even like the chase scene where he's diving through a fucking rings of barbed wire and doing all these crazy stunts with no wires or anything. But yeah, like I love, like there's a lot of movies that I really love that are in a different language, so they had to have subtitles. And look, there's sometimes not for certain movies, but like for some shows or some movies, I might just not be in the mood to like deal with subtitles. And if it's not bad, then I'll listen to the English dubs. Especially, honestly, with certain animes. So I watched the new Rurouni Kenshin in the Japanese with the English subtitles. And then with Demon Slayer, I've just been watching it with the English dub. Because right now, it's one of those things, I'm watching a lot of stuff that it's already subtitled and like there's no English dub or whatever. So I'm just like, you know what? They have the English dubs for the Demon Slayer. I'm just going to watch the English one, which is honestly fine with me because I just love that show anyway. And what else? I feel like I'm just drawing blanks, but you know what I mean. Pan's Labyrinth. Okay, I got a story about Pan's Labyrinth. One, Guillermo del Toro, one of my favorite directors, especially when he does like horror stuff or anything. If you want a really good fucking vampire movie or show, go watch Blade 2, because he did that one. And the Reapers in those vampires in Blade 2 are so fucking cool. And if you think that they're cool, then check out his show, The Strain. I know it's on the Disney Plus for Canada when you go, because they have like the stars and like kind of different channels within that. But yeah, go check that out, because The Strain, fucking cool show, especially with the way the vampires are done there. And Blade 2. Which also reminds me, I finally found the other 2 Strain books I needed, so I finally have the trilogy completed. So that's dope. But to my thing about Pan's Labyrinth, I went to go see it in theaters with a bunch of my friends as a teenager, and I had honestly no idea what the movie was about. I didn't see any trailers or anything. I think somebody else had wanted to go see it, and then once people started talking, and all my friends realized that it was subtitled, they all wanted to leave. They were like, I'm not fucking sitting here. I immediately was like, okay, well, I'll meet you guys back there, but I'm staying. Like, I'm 100% chilling, and I'm watching this movie. And I'm so glad I did. It's such a good movie. Like, Pan's Labyrinth is fucking awesome. Blade 2 was amazing. Hell yeah, man. Like, if you're not familiar with it, the way they're called Reapers, but the way that they feed, the middle of their jaw has like a scar there. And it friggin' goes, and it opens up like that. Like, if this is the jaw, it goes, and it has these 2 teeth right here that latch into you. And it has like almost like a leech-like feeding tube in their mouth. And they bite into your neck or wherever they get you. And it not only like feeds on you, it doesn't matter if you're human or vampire. If you get bit by one of these things, you then become one of these things. It's awesome. Check out Masters of Horror, gory short films. Peltz and Jennifer was amazing. I feel like I've seen Masters of Horror. Or was there a newer one? I think there was a newer one that came out. I'm going to look all awkward because I got to like reach over here. Battery. Which are? Yeah. I feel like I make that sound a lot. Oh, and Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead. He's in that. I think his name's Scud. Just saying. Oh no, 2005 to 2007. Okay, yeah. Ooh, that episode Jennifer. The episode was cut for graphic violence during its initial television broadcast, and the cut scenes can only be viewed in a feature separate from the film on the DVD release. I doubt it. I 100% think that I could find these. Oh, shit. It's on a YouTube channel now. Let me see if this works. Oh, it might be some bullshit. Let me see. Is it going to be like 5 frames a second? Yeah. All right. I'll have to check that out. Because, yeah. I feel like I've seen this. It's probably been a while, though. Oh. Oh, no, that's not. There's also, I think, a book. Let me see. No, yeah. Masters of Horror is an anthology television series created by director Mick Garris. He is the one who did the original The Stand, the Stephen King story. He's the one who did the original miniseries for it, which, again, I love and I own. He also makes a little cameo in the newer one on Prime. You got to use Wacha like the old school Batman show. Yeah, I should have just a pop up. It goes Wacha. I was gonna mention something else. Sorry if my glugging is too loud. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh yeah. So yeah, The Strain. Go check that out because the vampires are kind of like the Reapers from Blade 2, but it's a little different because let's say you're fighting one of these suckers. You know what I mean? And they even scratch you and they cut your arm. They have these little worms all inside them. Like if you took a black light or a UV light kind of thing and you shined it over them, you're going to see all these like little like white worms crawling inside their skin. And if you like slice them open or you cut their arm off, whatever, these little worms will fucking fall out of them too. And if they get on you and they get into that little cut, you're fucked. You know what I mean? You are now vampire. Before, human. Now, vampire. They sell the Masters of Horror in a box DVD set. Okay, that's dope. Might have to hunt that down then. Excuse me. I doubt it'll be hard. There's some stuff that it's pretty easy to find still. The fucking movies, and I hate to bring this up again, I'm sorry. The movies that I can't find anywhere is Rurouni Kenshin. Like, oh my God. It's driving me nuts. I thought I finally found it, bought it, and then it turns out it's a Region 2 DVD, which that means, and this is the dumbest shit ever, the menus, you can have those in English, but the only subtitles are either Dutch or German, of which I speak neither. So I finally find the Rurouni Kenshin like movies on DVD, and I can't even fucking watch them. So I'm not too stoked about that. Oh man. Every time I think about it, I get frustrated. Paranormal stuff. Man, okay. So I have my little spooky corner back here. Actually, give me a second. We're going to grab you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be aggressive. You make me do this. So I have my little spooky corner back here. That guy, this little zombie dog, he has been hung up on the wall back there. Come on. There we go. In the like support beam, the stud of the structure. He's been hanging up there for like 5, almost 6 years now. On Saturday night, I come down here and he's just off the wall. That's it. He just fucking, nothing's broken on him. The nail wasn't like messed up or anything. He's just fucking fell. Hellhound. Yeah. Pretty much. My lady actually got me it when a store here called Green Earth was closing, which sucks because they had a lot of cool stuff. But it reminded her and me of the zombie dogs from a game called Days Gone, which I love. It's like a perfect mix of Walking Dead and Sons of Anarchy in a way. In a very vague sense of describing it. But either way, so he's knocked over. My Ouija board is like under my desk. Now apparently the instruction booklet for my throne room is fucking gone. And so I have to like rehang that up. I have to reorganize shit. Other stuff like from my kids that's been up here like, I don't know, 8 years. Yeah, pretty much like 8 years. That was off the wall. Like, I have no clue how this shit happened. Because, like, there's nothing that's given out or anything. So that's fun. And then, what else? Oh, so, a little bit ago, I can't remember, a couple days ago now, my oldest is in the washroom, and they come downstairs, and they ask my lady, like, if she was outside of the washroom or in the, like, the upstairs hallway area. And my lady was downstairs the whole time. She goes, no, why? And my oldest goes, oh, I heard you say, Moo, I'm here. for those that don't know, my oldest, their nickname has been Moo or Moo Moo since they were born. Like, and when they came down, they were like legitimately freaked out. Like, they were confused and freaked out. And then once we said, like, no, both of us have been downstairs the whole time. Nobody went upstairs. Like, the look of just, like, friggin' freaked outness just washed over. So that's cool. Sounds like my toy room. They jump off the shelf. Yeah. Funny enough, honestly, when that fell, none of my other figures fell. Like, none of my wrestling figures fell or anything. So yeah, I have no idea. Where the hell are those instructions? It's gonna haunt me. Literally, it's gonna haunt me. And then yeah. Last night, okay, so recently, you know what? I should have maybe a relative trying to make contact. I don't know. If that's the case, there's only one person it could have been, but they don't sound, one, they're not female. Two, they don't sound like my wife. So that'd be interesting to say the least. And what else? Oh, so I want to say probably around October, November, there was a new neighbor that moved into the complex, and they, as they're moving stuff in, they had asked, like, did we want a mirror that they had? And without thinking, we were just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, we'll take a little mirror, and it's a nice mirror and everything. The problem is, they also gave us like this old kind of painting that they had. Well, because we got the Christmas tree taken down yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm going to hang that painting now. So I did, and it was completely fine up until this morning when it just decided to jump off the wall. It just fucking said, you know what? I don't care for this. I'm out. Fuck you guys. And just fell off the wall. And again, on the back, nothing from the frame broke. Nothing like the nail in the wall didn't, the nail in the wall didn't break or anything like that. It was like, yeah, no, fuck this wall. Seeing and acknowledging the kids. I want to believe that it's like maybe just a relative. But part of me has a problem believing that, I guess. If I'm honest. And then I gotta grab this picture. Download. Hurry up, come on. So yeah. So there's been that. There was another time where my youngest thought that she heard me upstairs. And I wasn't even in the house. I was out front when it happened. And then going over some of the evidence from the 2-night investigation, which like I'm gonna address something about that in a like after I talk about it. But there's something that happens in the evidence that I had to ask my oldest about, and I was like, hey, like, was this you? Because it sounds like you. But you don't really laugh that like this. You know what I mean? Like some people have like a specific laugh or like a laughing pattern that they do. And right away they're like, no, that wasn't me. And yeah, I don't know. It just feels like like whatever is here is also like now starting to mimic us in a way. Kind of like, okay, so that first video that I put up, we had just finished watching the first Conjuring movie where they play that clapping game. And then in the audio stuff, I catch the clapping happening a couple times. And it's just like, it feels like whatever's around here is like mimicking shit now. And I don't know. Honestly, it's not cool. Like, part of me finds it interesting because, like, I've always been interested in the paranormal stuff and everything. But, like, when you're living around this shit all the time and, like, now things are just like, fucking going off the walls and shit. It damaged my Crow fucking picture frame because, like, the picture was above it. My Crow picture was below it with the Brandon Lee, like, promo poster. There's a big-ass scratch in the the glass part of the frame now. Not happy about that. But, like, honestly, eventually, it's just, like, some shit starts taking a little bit of a toll. Like, you just don't want to deal with it all the time. Maybe an alternate reality like the movie The Others. Yeah, I've thought about that before, to be honest with you. And then another thing that I'm going to bring into the stream here for a second. Oh, maybe we are dead and they are contacting us. Reminds me of a certain poetry piece kind of short film I did back in the day. It's called Ghosts. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I kind of explore that exact idea. Transform, fit to screen. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me honestly wouldn't really be surprised if that was the case. If there was some weird wizardry happening there. And then I don't know what this says like about me right now, to be honest. It's nothing. Oh, you know what? Before I bring this up, I have had some people send the stupidest messages on Instagram. Okay, so like in your DMs on Instagram, you have like there's this one tab that says requests. I never look at that shit aside from like very, very rarely, like maybe once every couple of months. And that honestly is because of the beginning of last year, 2023, I was getting some crazy fucking messages, from some real shitty people. And I know it's easy to just be like, well, don't pay attention to the trolls. But like, it was... So Instagram's algorithm has no rhyme or reason to it. So like, I get a lot of people were seeing some of my posts from like months ago or the year prior or whatever. And they came across like, some of them came across like the posts where I mentioned, that I'm bisexual or whatever, or that like the post where I like actually came out and I talked about it. And I was getting fucking messages where it was like, you should kill yourself. Like you shouldn't have your kids around you. So like, I'm going to find it where you live and I'm going to fucking like pretty much like beat me to death. All this shit. And it like, honestly, that was a huge reason why I was very absent on the channel last year. And I'm being the opposite as I can this year or recently. 'Cause that fucked with me. That was like, I want to say it was for like a solid, like maybe 3.5 months. Like if I ever clicked that requests page, there was multiple of those messages that I was getting. So yeah. So if you send me a DM and you don't follow me and I don't see it because it's in the requests thing, my bad, but I have a good reason to not check it. Now I say all of that to say this because last week, I think it was one of those times where I was like, oh, I haven't checked the requests page for a bit. Maybe I'll see like I'll see what's there. And some people were like, oh, notice you haven't put out a new paranormal video. Is that because you got caught faking? And I was like, okay, real quick. 2 things. 1, I haven't put out the next paranormal video because it's just been very busy around here. And to be honest, I've had a few rough days where like the day before, I'm like, I'm going to get this recorded finally, and I'm going to get this video put out. And then I wake up that day and my mind and body go, no, you're not doing shit, man. You're going to fucking just chill out. You're not doing nothing. And yeah, I don't know. It sucks, but I also do have a plan of what I'm going to be doing going forward with the channel that'll kind of help me get back into that just like filming and editing cycle a little bit, because also like it's been a while since like I've just been like sitting down recording and editing videos to get them out as like regularly or whatever have you that I used to. But either way, also, because that was one. Two, I didn't get caught faking any evidence. I 100% heard, like, I listened to the EVPs. I presented them. I mentioned some things that it could have been, but we tried to replicate it or, like, you know, recreate the evidence. It just wasn't happening. Some things we could recreate. Like, there was one thing that we heard, and then we figured out that it was when like one of the kids were leaving their room to go to the bathroom. So that was like, it was a door opening and closing, and it was their room and they went to the washroom. You know, like there's certain things. I will never just put something out and go, this is what it is. And if you don't believe it, then like you're a fucking hater or whatever. I don't know. That felt super aggressive for no reason. Oh, I missed this one because it didn't show up on my laptop chat. Oh, that's why. Sorry, Hamilfet. I missed. Usually just hooker bots. Yeah, that was definitely a good period of the DMs I was getting. But either way, no, I didn't get caught faking evidence because one, I didn't fake any evidence, and two, I don't have a big enough channel for people to like do some deep dive on my shit and be like, oh, this is how he did it or whatever. You know what I mean? I should have brought it down with me. I literally clicked record on the recorder. I set it down on the old sewing machine, and then I walked away. I went downstairs. So, oh yeah, and that's the other thing. For a long time, my lady has blamed me and my youngest because we're into like the paranormal stuff, and that's why like ghosts have been happening, even though this shit was happening before I moved in here too with them. But we pointed out to her the dresser in the bedroom was her grandma and grandpa's, her grandma who has now passed away. The sewing machine that's in the upstairs hallway is that grandma's that passed away. There's a little case that came with the sewing machine. That was from one of her great aunts that passed away. So there, and we have a bookshelf from like their grandma and stuff. Like we have a lot of things in this house from family members that have passed away. So I don't know if there was any attachment in there. There could be stuff going on with that as well. But some of those have only come in recently. So I can only blame it on the recent certain things. But yeah. Sometimes it's just not cool. But I can be blamed for this one that I'm going to bring up. One day when we were thrifting, I saw a little statue that I was very quickly enamored with. I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is something that I would love to have on display in my little collection or my little side table, whatever have you. Hamilfet, you have no reason to fake anything. Anyone who has gotten to know you like I have knows that you are genuine and an honest person. Hell yeah, I appreciate that, brother. So I saw this statue, and I didn't get it when I first saw it. And then, for some reason, almost every day since I saw that little statue, I thought about it. And, like, that's happened with some stuff, like a figure I might have seen online, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I definitely want to get this at some point. But I saw this statue, and it's been, like literally every day since I saw it, I would think about it throughout the day. So long story short, I bought it like a week later or so because we went back to that thrift store and it was still there. So this is her. It's a Japanese geisha statue here. You know, we're going to move it on this side. Oh, the stupid mirroring. I hate it. So this is her. She's a Japanese geisha statue. Growing up, some of my friends' parents had like Chinese martial arts and Japanese martial arts statues and stuff. And like, I always thought they were so cool. And then I saw her and I thought she was so fucking cool. But again, I have like thought about this I thought about the statue every day since I saw it. And now that it's in the house, some people are a little freaked out by it. And I kind of understand it in some ways. Because the longer you look at her eyes, it feels like somebody's actually there. Like somebody is behind those eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's just really, really good craftsmanship. But it feels like somebody's watching me. And I got no privacy. Oh. My bad. I have to. I can't resist. But it feels like you're looking into somebody's fucking eyes. Looks like she has a soul. Yeah, Hamilfett gets it. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if she's possessed. I don't know if she's haunted. And maybe that's why I became like, I was like, oh, I keep thinking about this statue. Because maybe whatever's inside of there saw me and I was like staring at it and I was talking about it like right in front of it. And that's when it was like, oh, I'm going to get this one. This motherfucker is getting attached to. He's going to come back, bring me into his house, and I'm going to haunt him. I don't know. I don't know if she's haunted. I don't know if like somebody in their lifetime like wronged a doll maker and now their soul has been trapped in that doll. But either way, she sits on my side table. Cuz where I usually sit at the couch, I have a little side table for like whatever books I'm reading at the current moment. And now she's sitting there as well. So I don't know. But yeah, those eyes, I've never I have little statues and figures of all sorts around here. I have never seen more lifelike eyes than that. Like, I just don't understand. It's one of those things. I equally love the statue, and I'm a little freaked out by it. Because I don't know. But yeah, so that's her. No, wait, there we go. I clicked the wrong thing. Puppet Master could be real. I hope not. I love those movies, but I'm not trying to fucking have to deal with Blade or anything. You know what I'm saying? What is this? Email notification. Not important. Excuse me. And then, there's something else that I was going to talk about, and I forgot. My nan would say, well, it must have been a lie, but it's not. I just can't remember what I was going to talk about. I hate that. You hate to see it, folks. Where did those instructions go? Legitimately, no idea. The geisha in the face. Oh my God. It was right here. And now they could be anywhere. I have no idea. Nope, not under that bag. It's like a wide book too. Like, I don't know how you just lose it. Oh, I remember what I was going to talk about. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Instead of Elf on the Shelf, Geisha in the Face. Damn it. Okay, got it. Haha. So a little backstory. When I first moved in here, I maybe owned like 4 books. And now, currently, I think I have like 100. I have over 140 books. And I don't like to brag about a lot of things, but that's something I'm pretty proud to brag about. It's a struggle for the Iron Throne. Yeah, pretty fucking much. I have no idea where they are. But yeah, so I have like my bookshelf over here. And I have like some there. We have my wife's bookshelf upstairs, like on the main floor area. But then we also have like kind of like the shared bookshelf. It's like beside it. I say it's shared, but it's mostly my books in a way. But we're kind of sharing the Stephen King books and stuff. But either way, I have like a master list of the books in Google Sheets. So then this way, when I'm out, especially with like the Lee Child who wrote like the Jack Reacher books, if I see some and I'm like, oh, like, do I have that one? I can pull up the master list and I can check it out quick to make sure like I'm not going to buy another one of those books. But either way, so I'm doing the master list yesterday and I'm going through it and I want to say it was like 140. I've only read Call of the Wild, White Fang, and The Stone Cold Truth. I've read Call of the Wild and White Fang. Love those books. I haven't read Stone Cold Truth, though. I've heard it's a good little biography. Yeah, so last night when I put them all together, I was at 140, but I missed some. So I have to go back and add those to the master list. So I have like over 140 books now. And like I said, it's one of those things where people are like, whoa, why do you need that many books? Excuse me. Well, to be honest with you, I've read a great deal of them. And having that many books is a great thing. If power goes out or whatever, but you got little flashlights, little candles. I have my little book light that you can clip onto the top of your book and be able to read. And like, honestly, like if you're the type of person who enjoys reading, then just fucking having that many books is pretty awesome. Especially because I own almost every Clive Barker book. I think I'm only missing a few. I need to get... Oh, and I own all the Sherlock Holmes books. I need to get more of the Reacher books. We have half of them. Come with me, microphone. I'm only missing Children of Dune and Heretics of Dune from the Frank Herbert ones. And then from Brian Herbert, his son, and Kevin Anderson, I have to find the other ones of that. I need to find, I think it's the last 3 of the Witcher books. The Strain, Guillermo del Toro's, I finally found those 2. Oh, and the other thing, it's your own personal library. Yeah, 100%. That's how it feels, man. The other thing, there was 2 books that I've been trying to find for years. One more recent than the other. But okay, so there's a book called Anno Dracula by Kim Newman. I was looking for this book for so fucking long. As long as I've been doing the channel. So like 8-9 years, roughly. It's going to be 9 years? Is it going to be 9? Yeah, holy shit. It's going to be 9 years this year. That's nuts. Anyway. I've been looking for that book for so long. And on the same day that I bought this one, I also was looking through the books, as we always do. And I look down and I see the word Anno. And I was like, oh, well, that'd be cool if it was Anno Dracula, but it probably won't be. And I move stuff, and it is Anno Dracula by Kim Newman. And I read the inside little panel thing, And it is the exact book I'm looking for. Now, I can't remember if it's a first edition, but it is an early printing at least. And yeah, I am so fucking excited to finally have that book in my possession. It's pretty much what would happen with Dracula and like England and all that stuff if Van Helsing failed and didn't kill Dracula. Like what would all of that look like? Oh, I'm so excited. And the other one that's the more recent one that I've been trying to find for a long time is The Terror. And the first season of that show with the ship that goes into the Arctic on like an expedition based off of a true story. Some people don't actually realize that. Was such a great series. And honestly, the second season of that show is so good too, but it's a heavy one because it deals with some real shit. The Japanese internment camps in the United States during World War II. It's some heavy shit. But I finally found the book that the first season is based off, or I should say adapted from. And I'm so excited to jump into that because I love that show. And the true story behind all of it. It's actually really crazy. It's also really cool to see like what they incorporated into the show and how some of the actors, or at least those characters, looked like the real life people as well. So yeah, I don't know. Little stuff like that. It's really cool. There's one scene in The Terror that just, freaks me out so bad. So back in the day, if you had to clean stuff off the side of the ship, whether it's barnacles or whatever have you, you're pretty much, they put a dive helmet on you and you're sitting on a plank of wood with like pretty much like a wooden swing because you had the ropes that went up, and they lower this guy down into the water to try and, I think he's like scraping stuff off the ship, but it's a wide shot. So you see like just this infinite darkness of the Arctic Ocean and this little tiny guy getting lowered into it beside this ship. And if you're not aware of what thalassophobia is, it is the fear of the ocean. If I can look into the ocean and I'm like, oh, there's my feet, I'm at the beach, we're all good, then I'm fine. But even just seeing videos of like scuba divers or people on a boat in the middle of like the fucking ocean, and it's just infinite emptiness, and you have no idea what's there, what's watching you, get the fuck out of here. It makes me feel like physically uncomfortable. I hate it. Leave the ocean alone. And I think I talked about this way back in the day of life lessons. Like, I didn't know there was actually a thing called thalassophobia, which is the fear of the ocean. And I said, I don't fuck with the ocean. There's a reason why we're on land now, you know? Holy shit, almost a decade of friendship. Hail Hooligans. Hell yeah, brother. World War II was horrific. The story of the flamethrowers were insane. Hell yeah. Just saw an interview with a soldier who graphically described it. Yeah, shit was no joke, man. And like, so hold on. It's one of those things that, so for a long time, like we all learned about World War II in history class and stuff like that in school, but I never learned about the British SAS until like, I don't know, probably about a year ago, 6 months, something like that. And when you hear about how the British SAS was formed in World War II and the missions that they were doing, like under the cover of darkness and like everything, it's one of those things where it's like, you can't help but remember, this is World War II. These guys are going through, or they're seeing some really really crazy shit that's going to stay with them. But you're also reading about these things where you're like, if you told somebody this, it would sound like you're describing a movie or a show. Like, it is, like, some of these missions are so crazy and just so badass what they pulled off. I don't know. It's just amazing, and I'm in awe of it. And it's one of those things where I have quite a few books now about the British SAS. Because I have so much, like, I'm so interested about their history, and especially like how they formed everything and the early missions that they were doing to even prove that it could be done in like secret and shit. I mean, fuck, Sir Ian Fleming, the man who created James Bond, he was part of the decision making on this. And there's a pretty substantial theory that one of the guys, I can't remember his name. One of the guys in the like early days of the British SAS is a huge, influence for, I want to say his name was it James Bond or was it Q? I think it was the character Q that he was the inspiration for. I'd have to go back through the book and find that little blurb. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. The British SAS, especially in World War II, if you haven't learned about them yet or like anything, a great book, especially even if you just want to listen to the audiobook. Churchill's Secret Warriors. But I think now they've rebranded it it's being called the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Hamilfet. God didn't give me gills. I stay in the 3-foot section of my pool and I still have a floaty. I get it. Yeah. So, and the author of that, of Churchill's Secret Warriors or Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, that's written by Damian Lewis, which he's written quite a few books about the British SAS, which is pretty cool. The problem is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is also already a book about the early days and everything of like the World War II era British SAS, which stands for Special Air Service, by Miles Gilton. So I'm not sure what happened there, because Guy Ritchie has a movie coming out with Henry Cavill from The Witcher and Superman and everything, and Alan Ritchson from Reacher. And they called it Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, but it's apparently based more off of the Damian Lewis book. So it's honestly a very confusing situation. But either way, the other thing, I'm excited to see that movie. I love Guy Ritchie movies. I'm a fan of Henry Cavill and Alan Ritchson. The thing of it is, the only thing I can think of is if Alan Ritchson is playing a man named Anders Lawson, who is an absolute madman. Alan Ritchson is like very jacked, and Anders Lawson wasn't. Like, you gotta remember, this is World War II. Like, a lot of these guys weren't like, super muscular and like athletes and all this other crazy shit that you see nowadays from like actors and stuff like that. And even Henry Cavill, I believe he's playing, I think he's playing Gus Phillips, who again, not super jacked. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they portray these guys. It's going to be cool to see, or at least interesting to see how Guy Ritchie portrays all of these events and everything. So yeah. I don't know. Lots of exciting movies coming out. Dune Part 2. What's today? Just over a month away. Oh, I'm so excited for Dune Part 2. Like, oh, I have to get out of here in a second. So I'm gonna end the stream with this. If you haven't watched the more recent Dune movie, please go watch that. And if you have a nice sound system, do yourself the favor of listening to it on the nice sound system. Because the soundtrack gives little clues. The soundtrack itself like foreshadows certain things in the movie. The way that Stellan Skarsgård as the Baron, the way his dialogue is recorded and like done in the movie is different than everyone else. It gives him this like overpowering kind of effect to it, where it's like it's always in the foreground and other people feel like they're just behind him a bit. It's so good. But honestly, go watch Dune Part 1. And then in March, go watch Dune Part 2. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones and sci-fi stuff, Dune, pretty good movie to watch. That's all I'm saying. And some people have been like, I've seen these comments where they're confused. The first book of Dune, there's a lot to it. So Denis Villeneuve broke it into 2 parts. Because then this way we can just focus on some of the stuff for part 1 and then the rest of the story for part 2. We're not getting like a David Lynch 1980s. I don't really know how to describe it, but his version of Dune. It's really good. I first saw Henry Cavill in The Tudors. Oh shit, yeah, he was in that. I haven't seen that in a long time. You're absolutely right. Yeah, he was in that. Huh. And also season 2 of Reacher just ended. Folks, if you haven't watched Reacher, season 1 or season 2, for the love of God, go watch it, please. It's such a good show. Do you like action movies? Do you like possibly some crime thriller type stuff? Yeah? All right. Then go watch Reacher. Both seasons are on Prime Video right now. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there. I'm hoping you pick it up, but I'm throwing it out there. So, all right, fine, hooligans. I'm going to get out of here. Probably get some tea. My throat is dry, even though I'm drinking water. I think it's just the talking a lot. And I swear to God, I will find those instructions. I should have renamed this live stream. Whatever. I'll just rename it before it goes out. But either way, Hamilfet, as always, thank you for hanging out with me, brother. I appreciate it a lot. For everyone else that checks it out afterwards, check out some of the stuff on the channel. I mentioned early short film I did / poetry piece slightly called Ghosts. Go check that out. And there's a ton of stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the channel that you can check out. So, excuse me. Mucho love, fine hooligans. When's the next video? The next video will probably be next Tuesday or Wednesday, because I have very busy days coming up. Monday is me and my lady's anniversary, so we're doing all that. Finding Lego. Yeah, that's pretty much my life right now. I am Lego's dad, and I will find you. Please don't be in a dentist's tank. The instruction book will get soggy. But either I got off track. Either way, mucho love, fine hooligans. Excuse me. My throat is dry as shit right now. Mucho love, fine hooligans. Thank you for tuning in. Go check out other stuff on the channel. Watch Reacher on Prime Video, please. And yeah. That's it. All my quackheads, freaks, and weirdos, for the love of everybody, keep